Second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Miss Janice Davis, who is the CEO, president, and the founder of Entrepreneurial Research and Development Systems, Inc. And of course, all of that is said, Ms. Davis, to indicate, as you have already indicated, that you've got a lot of information dealing with how nonprofit organizations and others can take advantage of some of the grants and things that are out there today, but they just don't know, they don't have a trail. And so what we're trying to get from you this morning is a trail as to how they might be able to do that.
Right. One of the things I like to say is when I was in my training at George Washington, I had an instructor who was national head of the Boy Scouts, and he called us in one day and he said, you are going to be the information persons who will be controlling the nonprofit community for the next decade, because you will have the information that nobody will have on how to get the money, how to set up things and structure them. My focus has become over the years to train people, to get them certified. The first thing I do when I get a client is I get them incorporated with the state. I get them registered with the IRS. I get them registered with the state. The state of Tennessee is a nonprofit state, which means that once IRS stamps the document received, they will give you 27 months to write nonprofit grants within the state of Tennessee, even before IRS gives you your clearance. Then you have the other certifications that you have to have approved by IRS, and they have a very intricate application form that they require that you complete. I have developed a system that works, and I have clients who can verify that. You go through that system, but once you show them that document, they don't doubt that you will be a credible nonprofit that will be worthy of the government funds you'll be pursuing. With most government organizations, you have to have these kind of certifications to even apply. When they have the congressional budget that is allocated on the 1st of October, that's when the money goes out. But the new grants are brought in, and the requests for proposals are sent out from October until about January or February. It takes 8 weeks for them to let you prepare them. You send it in, they review them for 8 weeks, and then they have panels in the summer, like May through August, where you review these grants, and those were the panels I had the honor of serving on. What they don't tell you is that even if your state is applying for the grant, you can apply for that same grant. And so they
you might be even working for your state and applying, but you could make that same grant.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to know, because your twist toward delivering those services might be a little different. There was a grant for downsizing, $249 or $59 billion. But when I called, they sent me to somebody in the state of Tennessee who sent me to a marketing firm who said I had to pay for a copy of a federal document, which caused trauma for me, but I got over it. And what I wanted to say was that people there's enough money to go around. When they had the contract on America, they had a $10 billion contract. They still had money left over. So it's not a shortage of money, but a shortage of knowing how to get the money. And the other thing is, when you're working with an expert, listen, follow instructions. One letter could kill the whole thing. And I emphasize that because I know what they look for, what they listen for. You have to listen and follow instructions. The thing that they don't know is what instruments are out there. They have 8A certifications. When I say 8A certifications in Nashville, they say, what is that? 8A certification means that 22 to 35% of every major contract, grant, whatever that goes out has had minority participation. There are some people in Washington who only serve as a minority participant on some contracts and grants just so they can get the money. And that's where the 51-49 percentile came when a lot of women came in. And that's how that evolved. But what it is here, like I just completed the 501c3 for the Minority Diversified Contractors Association, MEDICA. Now they're ready to go. When they get their 8A certification, they will be in position to apply for 22 to 35% of the
grants
convention
that's
center,
available for
the convention center, and grants that are available. And they also have a status where the participants in an association each can get a separate EIN number if their major organization has a 501c3. The 501c3 is my major focus, because if you get $250,000 from a bank, you have to start paying that back before you sell your first product.
Okay.
With taxes and you know, interest and everything. If you get a $250,000 grant, you don't have to pay that back. You have a chance to capitalize, develop your product, develop your system, and deliver your services.
In other words, to get a grant is to be able to have access to the same amount of money that you think that you can only borrow from a bank.
Right.
And at the same time, you have to almost pay that money back as soon as you get
Walk
that money.
out of the door.
And you're saying that this other money is basically free money.
It's not free because you are obligated
to do something.
to adhere to the rules and regulations, but at least the stress of having to return it is not there. And that's what you want to do. The thing is that, and I also teach people skills. There are people who don't know how to write business plans. There are people who don't know how to keep books. I make sure that those are incorporated into the systems I give you, so that you're not irresponsible and just go and spend it and everything. You know, when I first started as a minority business development student at TSU, we had at 40th and Clifton Road, it was a store. That was my first project. I wrote the plan, got it together, got them set up. First thing they did was they bought a Cadillac. And they had 2 cans of corn on the shelf and a loaf of bread.
Yeah, a Cadillac in the garage.
No, a Cadillac at the front door. So,
very good.
So we want to make sure that you're responsible. And I work with a lot of churches. If a church builds a family resource center with nonprofit funds under their nonprofit, they can lease that to the church for $1. If they try to build a church, they're going to have to sell dinners and call out everybody's grandmother's bequeathed money and everything else.
And so as we in this second segment, we're simply saying that the money is available. There's a lot of money available, and people have to simply know
millions
how to,
of dollars.
And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.